Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about product development. I feel like I have a lot of experience in this area because the first product that we built, it took us a few years, but I had the light bulb moment of creating a Carfax for homes. After a few years of doing that, we realized that the market was only so big. And that was when we went through Techstars and we raised venture capital and we created Iterated, which was going from the Carfax for homes models where it was a B2C product to Iterated was meant to service mortgage servicers and the insurance industry and prop tech startups and real estate brokerages. So I really shifted from a B2C model to a B2B model in about 2.5 years. Now, we raised a few $1 million for that, and we went through a bunch of massive learnings. So while I'm gonna go through a bunch of tools that you can use for ideating products, testing them, seeing how much traction there is online, studying your competitors, this is very much, and to be candid, more of a one-on-one conversation we should be having. If you have any questions about ideating your product, finding product market fit, and testing your markets to see if they're actually there. Nowadays, we're seeing startups be built so quickly and getting users almost immediately that we're in a totally different world than spending a year or two to develop something, unless you're developing rocket ships or something, or cars, or things in like the energy sector or biotech. Things don't take as long, especially software products or e-commerce stores. Kids can spin these up with jewelry in a day and be selling the next day. So depending on the industry that you're in, some of this might make sense, but if you are in a software / technology type of business, I really want you to look at some of these tools of how you can figure out what the product is, if there's a market fit, and then how scalable is this? What's the TAM? What's the total addressable market? So the first thing that you can do is go out and find 10 customers. One of my favorite books I most recently read was The $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan. How can you build a $1 million business in a weekend? He does it with beef jerky. And he went through his email list, he went through his friend and contact list, and he had asked them questions. He just used I think it was a Google form. Typeform's like a new form of Google form. It's a little bit prettier, easier to use, but it's something we use with Iterated as well to talk to our users. Now, my favorite thing to use though is Google Trends. You can go into Google Trends, it's free, and you can see what's trending on the internet. SEMrush, you can actually look at people's ads that they're running for their products to check out competitors in that space. So I would highly recommend, before you launch anything, study those things and figure out what's the total addressable market of your product and what's going to be your angle to find that product market fit. So now, product roadmap and planning. For our engineering department, we always use Trello. We ended up using Monday, which is a little bit closer to Asana or Trello. Actually, our engineering used Jira. So Jira is a very technical product for software engineers. Trello or Asana is more of a task management thing, but you can build out product roadmaps, which are basically like, in month 1, we're gonna design the products, get the mockups for the website, and then month 2, we're actually gonna design the product and what it's gonna look like when the customer gets it. And then month 3, we're gonna start market testing it. And this can go along with your OKRs, but they're just another layer that you can really measure the process of what's happening in your product roadmap. One of the things that we would give out annually to our larger customers was, this is what we're going to be developing in the next year. What are the most important features that you want us to add to the product that will add the most value to you? And we really tailored it towards our largest clients because we wanted to ensure that they were happy and that they weren't going to churn and they were going to stay with us for a long time. So having a roadmap, depending on what industry you're in, is extremely valuable. Prototyping. I personally use Canva a lot. A lot of these slides that we're using today are designed in Canva. You can design mockups for your product in Canva nowadays with AI incredibly fast. Figma's another one, InVision, or Sketch. So these are tools that you can prototype and design things in. Collaborations within your team. Personally, I hate Microsoft Teams. I like Slack. Nowadays, we just use WhatsApp. We might switch here at some point because it is a Facebook-owned company. Confluence is another one that's really good. Analytics and data-driven decision marketing. I my entire life have been using Google AdWords and analytics to measure all my businesses. I've shared with you my scorecard. A lot of the data that was pulled from that is from Google Analytics and AdWords. So you can measure all your website visits, all the leads that come in, your cost per conversion, depending on where it came from in analytics. Now, if you're a little bit more sophisticated, there's Tableau and Microsoft BI. Mixpanel and Amplitude are also for analytics and user tracking. What are they actually doing on your website? If you have a platform where people are engaging like Canva, you can see what people are clicking on. They have heat maps of like what people are actually looking at on the screen while they are engaging with your product. Customer relationship management. I have used both Salesforce and HubSpot. I'm a big fan of HubSpot, even though it's quite expensive. But for your customer management, HubSpot really tracks every email that you've ever sent to a company, all the contacts that are within it. You can have your deals in there. You can have your marketing that's been sent to them. You can automate it all and manage it all in a really simple format. So I'm a huge fan of HubSpot. And there's lots of great deals for startups. You can start with a very simple plan. As you grow, I think we were up to like 20 or 30 grand a month by the time we were done with HubSpot at the end. Go High Level is much more for the coaching business, but I know many people that are doing 8 figures a year using Go High Level. I've never personally used it, but I've heard really good things. DevOps. Honestly, this is completely outside of my scope. If you have questions about it, I have people that can answer them within my team, but GitHub, GitLab, Jenkins, or Circle CI, I literally don't know much about these products, but if you're building a technical infrastructure product, these are things that you're gonna have to use. User testing, getting feedback. You can honestly just use Typeforms and Google Forms to ask your users questions. Depending on the relationship that you have with your customers, you can literally just use email and text message nowadays. It's probably simpler and faster, but user testing and Hotjar are 2 options for that. And then depending on what you're selling, like with Estated, we were selling mass amounts of data. We had massive AWS bills, and that was where we housed all the data. That was how we created the buckets that we needed to send to our users, our customers, for what the data that they purchased from us. So depending on the industry that you're in, these are things that might be valuable to you. Honestly, again, if you guys want to have conversations about this, I'm here for you. I just want to serve you and give you value. Product development's a massive thing, and the thing that I feel like I have the most experience in is selling to a B2C market and switching to a B2B market. I find B2B markets are more sustainable, there's more longevity, there's less churn. Everything about our business when we moved to B2B got a lot better. If you don't know what those acronyms are, it's business to consumer, business to business, just a sales acronym there. Really, really simple. But if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Here's all the places you can reach me. Let me know what you think. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.